answer your phone. Answer your phone. I'm telling you, like this lady just called and she wants a dumpster for 3 weeks. We would normally charge $400 a week, and she's like, "Well, that's a lot. I need it for 3 weeks." I said, "Well, if you do cash, $800 cash, I'll deliver it today and do 3 weeks." So, and she's like, "Done." So I was like, you know, you just the phone ringing. So marketing, the phone ringing, money in your pocket in your bank, right? It's just like I don't know, like I feel like once you learn this concept of marketing, providing a great service, just nailing Google My Business, like if you struggle at all to make money, that's what I'm teaching my son. He's 23 years old, and I'm like, you got to have a hustle. Like right away, none of my kids wanted to serve papers. I'm like, it's the easiest way to make money is to serve legal documents. It really is. You knock on the door, they answer, you give them a piece of paper, and you go, "All right, have a good day," and you do a proof of service, which now with software is so easy, and you make money. You guys know this. You're all here. You're all here making that bank. So that was cool. Jessica's answering service. The thing I would be worried about if you're just getting started when it comes to that type of answering service, just a word of caution, is that a lot of the things you learn when you're first starting is on the phone. You answer the phone, the person asks a question, you have no idea what they're asking. You fake it. You say, "Oh, yeah, we do that." You hang up the phone, you call Mike, or you call Charles, you call Don, and you say, "What's a writ?" Okay. How do I issue a writ? How do I serve a writ? What about a default? How do I do all this? And then you call back the customer and you go, "Oh yeah," and just I'll give you this tidbit. You when someone calls and you don't know what they're talking about, just be like, "Oh yeah, we do that." They go like, "Oh," and they ask a question you don't know the answer to. You go, "You know what? I'm actually gonna have so and so call you back, Mike." Call you back on this. He's actually our expert in that. Like I could tell you about it, but he knows way more about it. And or someone else, doesn't have to be me. That sounds terrible. But this person knows way more about it than me, and or they know the pricing better, how to price it better. Could I have him give you a call back? Yeah, what's your name? Blah blah blah. Okay, here's the number. And then I'm telling you, like all of this stuff is figure outable. I went and learned from just one thing about evictions from Chad Barger in California, in the armpit of California, Bakersfield area. And he told me about evictions, and he told me about writs, and they charge only $20. The whole framework for how they did evictions. And then after I learned that and went through the process with this one client, when somebody would call me back and say, "We're trying to find someone to handle all of our evictions in that area," I would give them the spill, the default, how we have a default on in the calendar, and we process that, and the attorney doesn't even have to show up to court because we get the default filed, so to keep an answer from getting on file the same day that it's that you could do it, like as soon as that morning you're able to do it. And they would that's exactly what they wanted to hear, because they don't want the attorney to have to show up if he doesn't have to. And so you'd land that client. What matters to property managers? What matters to criminal defense attorneys who are serving subpoenas? They want someone who can skip trace people, who's willing to sit outside of an AA meeting and wait for a guy to serve them, right? So you have to understand what's important to the different customer types, so that when they call, you know how to sell them. And if you don't answer the phone as a new server, you may never learn that. Does that make sense? You're going to get an attorney who might just go, I just want to talk to somebody. But Jessica's actually in a really cool position where she is getting too much business for where she's at. And she's like, let me raise my prices. And people are still hiring her for a same day service, paying $600-700. So if that's, once you get over $10,000, $20,000 per month, you start reaching those numbers. You set up the online phone system. You set up that you raise your prices. You don't care about paying a transaction fee or charging extra because you're going to pay your own credit card fees. So.